The Mayor and City Council welcome you to the Peoria City Council meeting. As a courtesy to others, please silence all phones. If you would like to address an issue that is on the agenda, or if you would like to speak to the Council regarding a non-agenda item, please complete a speaker request form, which can be found in the front lobby of the Peoria City Council chambers or in the tray to the left of the speaker's podium. Please place the completed speaker request form in the second tray to the left of the speaker's podium labeled Request to Speak. All speakers will have 3 minutes to complete their comments. A countdown clock is easily visible on the left side of the wall behind the City Council dais. Only items listed on the agenda may be addressed by the Council. Since items presented as part of a speaker's request have not been listed on the agenda, and due to the requirements of open meeting laws, the Council will be unable to respond to items presented as part of the speaker's request. However, please be aware that your comments will be noted. The speaker's name will be called to speak at the appropriate time, in the order that the forms were received. Thank you for your interest and participation in the Peoria City Council meeting.
Peoria City Council meeting will now come to order. Please rise for a moment of quiet reflection and the Pledge of Allegiance led by Councilmember Hunt. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mayor Carlett.
Here.
Vice Mayor Binsbacher.
Here.
Councilmember Patena.
Here.
Councilmember Edwards.
Here.
Councilmember Finn.
Here.
Councilmember Hunt.
Here.
Councilmember Leone.
Here.
And Council Liaison Edwards.
Here.
Thank you. Good evening and welcome to the Peoria City Council meeting of August 18th, 2016. The first item on our agenda this evening is a presentation, TheaterWorks. May I, staff report? I'm not quite sure how we're moving forward here.
Our Community Services Director, John Sefton, will make a report on this.
Thank you, Mr. Swenson, and good evening, Mayor and Council. It is certainly an honor of mine to be able to introduce this presentation tonight, recognizing the creativity, the dedication, and the talent of our partners at TheaterWorks. And once again, Peoria is claiming the spotlight of excellence. Recently, TheaterWorks was honored for their production quality and theatrical expression. With us tonight are several of the TheaterWorks Board of Directors in the audience. Raise your hands, please. Thank you for being here tonight. Many of the award-winning actors and staff, all of whom make the magic happen at our beloved Center for the Performing Arts. I will now turn the mic over to Mr. Chris Hamby, Producing Artistic Director at TheaterWorks.
Hello, Mayor, members of the Council. I'm pleased to be here tonight to talk about some honors that TheaterWorks is proud to bring to the city of Peoria. I may need John's help a little bit here. Recently, TheaterWorks was honored by the Arizona Theater Awards of Excellence. The Arizona Theater Awards is the only organization in the state of Arizona that honors theaters across Maricopa County. Currently, they represent 40 different theater organizations. And so this year, TheaterWorks received 46 nominations for their 10 productions that they produce at the Peoria Center for the Performing Arts. And tonight, we're going to talk about some of the awards that they were able to bring home to Peoria this year. For our main stage Masterworks series, Man of La Mancha brought home some amazing awards. Overall production for non-contracted musical, that would be the community theater category. That means all of the elements brought together produced the best musical in that category. Also, our director, Scott Withers, was honored, and our lighting designer was also honored. However, the big winner for TheaterWorks this year was our youth program and our production of The Secret Garden. It was nominated and brought home overall production for youth musical. It won both awards for actress in a major role. Emily Benoit and Macy Thompson both brought home those honors. Camden Walrow brought home an actress in supporting role. I was able to bring home the director award, musical direction by Ken Goodenberger, who is in the audience here tonight, and costume design by Tamara Treat. So this is in competition with 14 other youth programs, and so TheaterWorks was able to bring these home to Peoria. So we'll just show some production photos from this production. I'm very sorry if you missed it. The Secret Garden is based on the classic novel. It is the story of Mary Lennox, who loses her parents and is brought home to an English manor to be raised by her uncle Archibald, and brings back the garden of her late Aunt Lily, and is able to bring her struggling family together, and through this production, through music. This is the character of Martha, who speaks with a very heavy Yorkshire accent, trying to communicate to our Mary Lennox. This is Colin learning to walk in the secret garden. There we are. So thank you very much for allowing us to share these special honors with all of you here tonight. So thank you.
And if we will, Mayor, Councilmember Hunt, if you would come down for a quick photo snap with our winning actresses who are in the house.
We would be honored.
Thank you. Thank you all very much.
Big thanks to TheaterWorks. You make Peoria proud. Thank you. All right, the next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. Council, are there any items to be removed from consent? Okay, 15C, Councilmember Edwards. Vice Mayor? 10.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to remove item 10C.
All right. Okay, so we will now move forward with a motion on the consent agenda with the exception of items 10 and 15C. Do I have a motion? All right, council, please vote. And the consent agenda passes unanimously. We will now move on to staff presentation from item 10C. Mr. Swenson?
Our engineering director, Andy Granger, will make this presentation.
Thank you, Carl. Mayor, members of the council, item 10C is a request for council authorization to enter into a design contract with T.Y. Lin for $1.733 million for the Happy Valley Parkway Street Improvements Project from Lake Pleasant Parkway to the Agua Fria. I guess he does have the PowerPoint up. The proposed improvements in general will provide a 6-lane facility. The existing Happy Valley Parkway is a 4-lane facility, 2 lanes in each direction with a raised landscape median. This project will widen the roadway out to 6 lanes and will add missing curb, gutter, sidewalk, and street lights along this section of roadway that will improve capacity. One of the specific aspects of the project is at the Agua Fria Bridge. The existing bridge is a 4-lane facility with an existing bike lane adjacent to the vehicular lanes, this proposed scope project will provide 6 lanes across the bridge, a median barrier between the east and west lanes. It will improve aesthetics, but more importantly, it will provide a barrier between the pedestrian traffic and the bicyclists from the vehicular traffic also. And just one other aspect of the project, at the 100th lane signalized intersection, which is a 3-legged intersection right now, the scope proposes to add a south leg for improved access to the southwest corner, which is the commercial plaza with the Target Center. This will improve the safety and access out of the commercial center onto Happy Valley Parkway, especially for those traveling west. And the project proposes to remove that existing egress movement, which has been somewhat of a safety hazard in the past. The project schedule is for, if approved tonight, is to start the design with T.Y. Lin. We anticipate the design project to go approximately 18 months. A lot of that has to do with the 404 permitting across the Agua Fria River with the bridge component of the project. The city will also annex the entire bridge into the city at the end of the project. Currently, the east half of the bridge is within the city's jurisdiction and the west half of the bridge is within county's jurisdiction. Once the final design is complete, we will bid the project. We anticipate a bid date of summer 2018. And when the bid results come in, we anticipate the construction to take approximately 12 months to be complete. The project budget in the FY17 current capital year is $2.1 million for design. Our design contract, as we stated earlier, is for $1.73 million. Of note is that this is an arterial life cycle program project, which means that 70% of that design is eligible for reimbursement and will be reimbursed once the design is complete. We will be reimbursed up to $1.9 million. We don't anticipate to be reimbursed for the $1.9 million because of the $1.7 million design contract. But any remaining dollars that are left over will get carried over into construction and we will get reimbursed for that portion of the construction contract. And then in the capital year, or fiscal year 18, we have a construction budget of $14.7 million for the bridge and roadway improvements. And with that, our recommendation, as we stated earlier, is to approve a design contract for T.Y. Lin in the amount of $1.7 million. And the picture that you have in front of you is the Happy Valley Bridge that was part of a previous Happy Valley roadway project at 75th Avenue. Those aesthetics are what we're going to try and incorporate into the Agua Fria Bridge so that we've got consistency across this roadway. With that, I'll take any questions that you may have.
Thank you. Council, questions? Vice Mayor?
Thank you, Mayor. No questions, but I just want to thank you so much for making this a priority. This is so important to the residents of Estancia. With traffic increasing, this is very important to their safety. They've been looking to us to take ownership of this, and you've done that, and this is just, I can't wait to deliver this news. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any other comments? Do I have a motion? All right, council, please vote. And it passes unanimously. It's great news. Thank you. Okay, and now we will move on to item 15C.
And Chris Hawkes will handle the land use elements of this, and Andy Granger, the engineering elements.
I'll start on item 15C, Mayor and Council. This is a request for a council approval of a final plat of a quick trip that's located at the southeast corner of Fletcher Way and Lake Pleasant Parkway. The vicinity map in front of you shows the approximate vicinity of the proposed project in relation to the area. As I said, it's on the southeast corner of Fletcher and Lake Pleasant Parkway, which is also the 83rd Avenue alignment. This is the proposed plat that is coming forward to you for approval. Specifically, what this plat does is it will provide additional right-of-way at the immediate corner of Lake Pleasant Parkway and Fletcher Way. There's a small section that wasn't dedicated or needs additional dedication for sidewalk and ramp improvements at that corner. And the other thing it does is that it provides for a drainage easement across the drainage improvements on the site that are part of the Quick Trip property. With that, I'll turn it over to Chris as far as the zoning portion of the project.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. So tangential to the final plat that you have before you tonight is a new Quick Trip, a Gen 3 Quick Trip facility at this corner. So Gen 3, if you're familiar with 83rd or 67th and Happy Valley, or the new one at Rio Vista, that's their new model, the Gen 3 store. The zoning was in place at this location in which a gas station and convenience store was permitted outright. So the city has completed a site plan review process, which is an administrative staff process. I should mention that part of that process, we do provide notification to all our citizens within 300 feet at the onset when we receive the application, and then at the back end when we make a decision. So that notification was provided. We didn't get any feedback from any of the residents, but accordingly, as the next step in the process will be that the Quick Trip will have to complete the building permit review process, and upon issuance of permits, then proceed with construction. But assuredly, we have requirements in place to deal with issues like lighting and landscaping and all those things that we would have to meet our code going forward. Be happy to take any questions you have.
And just as a follow-up to that, the building plans have been approved, ready for pickup, and all the off-site improvements have been approved too. So it'll be ready for construction when the developer is ready.
Mayor.
Yes,
Thank you.
Councilmember Edwards?
I didn't have any questions. I just wanted to bring this to the attention. I know that I've had a few residents that have called to voice some concerns, and I've been able to deal with them based off of your answers. And so it's just more of a question, bringing it to their attention what was coming to the area. So thank you very much.
So do I have a motion?
Second.
All right, that's a motion and a second on item 15C. Council, please vote. And it passes unanimously. Thank you. We will now move on to new business. The next item on the agenda is item 18R, exclusive negotiating agreement, Plaza del Rio Management Corporation, Office Business Park Development, Loop 101 and Peoria Avenue. Mr. Swenson?
Yes, Scott White, our Economic Development Services Director, will make the presentation on this item.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Pleasure to be before you again tonight. The item for your consideration is approval of an exclusive negotiating agreement with the Plaza companies. To give you a little background, as you may recall, in the Economic Development Implementation Strategy version 2 that was just recently approved, real estate development and the addition of the types of space that are appropriate and necessary to attract the advanced industries that we seek is a very high priority. In fact, it's priority number one under the EDIS 2 document. To that end, in March of 2016, we conducted the city's first investment forum, which was an opportunity to bring in over 100 developers and investors and those interested in the real estate development and business development opportunities here at the city of Peoria. And through a process of receiving proposals and vetting and reviewing those proposals, we entered into an exclusive negotiating agreement with the Plaza companies for the 17 acres in front of the sports complex. The item tonight is dealing with another piece of property that we covered under our investment forum, and that's a 14-acre parcel that's city-owned, that's off Loop 101 and Peoria Avenue. The Plaza companies has decided that that is a very strategic piece of property as it pertains to the type of commercial office product that we're trying to bring into the community. And they have suggested that they want to enter into an exclusive negotiating agreement with the city for that parcel as well, as part of a two-pronged strategy of bringing commercial office product to the city initially through the 14-acre site while we're developing the mixed-use innovation center on the 17-acre parcel next to our sports complex. So what the document for your consideration tonight is essentially the ENA for the discovery period. During the term of the document, being 180 days, we, the city staff, will be working with the Plaza team, including their leasing team and construction team, to come up with a concept that would meet market demands, that would put us in a position to be able to attract identified and targeted tenants, so that we could bring forward a business park on the 14-acre site so that we can be competitive in attracting those types of industries. The conceptual plan would be created to meet the objectives of the EDIS2, as I alluded to, by providing the office space needed for those targeted industries to look at locating here in the city of Peoria. The ENA itself, as all the other ones that we have entered into, represent no fiscal impact to the city because it's simply going through a discovery process, looking at site plans, looking at market studies, looking at how buildings can be sized and arranged to meet the leasing needs of the desired tenants. At the conclusion of the ENA term or sooner, we would be looking to enter into deal point discussions for a development agreement, assuming that we identify a project that meets fiscal and economic feasibility. So in terms of next steps, if approved by the council, then that approval action tonight would enable the agreement to be executed, and we would commence that discovery process working exclusively with the Plaza companies on that 14-acre site off the Loop 101 and Peoria Avenue. And with that, I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you. Council, any questions? I would just like to make a comment. I would like to thank you for your very organized and orderly way of attracting business to come to the city of Peoria. I mean, this was a very strategic plan that you developed, and then you went out and you held the forum and brought the private marketplace into our city and showed them all of the things that we have available for them and how those things can fit in with our strategy, what we need in the city of Peoria. So this is proof that that's a really successful way to do business and very targeted and very beneficial for us. So I'm anxious to see this move forward and to see what comes to fruition out of this. So thank you for your efforts.
Great. Thank you.
All right, so with that, do I have a motion? All right, we have a motion and a second. Council, please vote. And it passes unanimously. All right, next item on the agenda is 19R, Professional Services Contract, Maricopa County Community Colleges Small Business Development Center, Business Services.
And Scott will make the presentation on this one as well.
Thank you.
Well, this is really exciting. We of course, get very excited over real estate development and business attraction and redevelopment. But our small businesses and our entrepreneurial ecosystem in the city of Peoria is equally important and exciting. The EDIS2 identified the need to further expand our entrepreneurship support programs as a way to help existing businesses sustain and gain and grow, but also for new businesses to launch and grow in Peoria. And so what we've done is we've reached out to and have had wonderful conversations with the Maricopa Community College Small Business Development Center, which is a very successful national network of business analysts with a depth and a large bandwidth in terms of the various types of assistance programs that all types of businesses require and can benefit from. We have before you tonight an agreement that would enter into a dedicated business analysts from the SBDC exclusively to provide services to Peoria businesses. And why that's important, and I emphasize it, is often the model is that shared resources among many jurisdictions are provided. Because we've not had this full-service soup to nuts program in Peoria since I've been here, and given the elongated geography and the different business needs from north to middle to south, we felt it really would be prudent to bring in a dedicated person to focus just on Peoria businesses on a full-time basis. So that's what we've done. We've reached out to the SBDC, and they have been a great partner so far in terms of articulating how that arrangement can work in bringing that top expertise to Peoria businesses in terms of the full breadth of services they provide. So generally speaking, what SBDC would offer are all of their proprietary programs, everything from marketing to business startup to export potential, incubator portfolio companies out of BioInspire support, Old Town businesses, small manufacturers, business with export potential, and service-oriented businesses, just to name a few. They bring access to a deep network of many business analysts, in addition to our dedicated person here in Peoria. As part of their work in our community, again, north and middle and south, they'll be identifying community needs. And as through those efforts and interfaces, we'll be not only offering the standard palette of programs that are available, but also customized programs based on what our businesses need to grow and to flourish. Again, the concept here is a continuum of care from launch to grow to sustain, so that we can keep the businesses here for the long term. Total funding for the Peoria Satellite Office, and that's really what it is. It's not a resource that comes into the community a certain number of hours a week or month. It's a dedicated space in Peoria for an SBDC Peoria Satellite Office. So funding for support of that would come from the city. The SBDC will be officing at the Chamber of Commerce, which adds a nice continuity in terms of the services also that the Chamber provides. And as I mentioned, the Peoria office will be served by a dedicated full-time SBDC staff person that's hired through the Maricopa County Community College District normal hiring process. In terms of funding, the way it generally breaks out is the $75,900 is the fully loaded rate for the dedicated business analyst. We have some funding in the $12,500 for printing, related costs, marketing material, mileage reimbursement, and the like. And then the rent payments for their office at the Chamber. So looking at a first year expense of $91,600 for a full year of service. We have in the audience tonight two members of the SBDC, Janice Barham, who is the Associate State Director, and Jeff Swenson, who is the Assistant Center Director. And I thought it would be nice if maybe they came to the podium and addressed the council in terms of who they are and what they can bring to Peoria.
Great. Welcome.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Janice Barham, and I'm Associate State Director. Janice Washington, our State Director of the Arizona Small Business Development Center Network, could not be with us this evening, but she sends her regards and her regrets. At the AZSBDC, we are very excited and looking forward to partnering with you in this endeavor to bring one-on-one counseling and training at no charge. Statistically, businesses who partner with us, we are able to help them to become more successful. And so we are, like I say, happy to bring that expertise to Peoria. And also, we look forward to working with you and to having a long and mutually beneficial relationship. Thank you.
On a personal note, 2 West Siders. Okay?
Right.
So we're really psyched from that standpoint to give the coverage of the SBDC over here. I'm the tactical side. So I'm out there, boots on the ground with the team. So I will be overseeing this effort. So as the Assistant Center Director, I'm involved with counseling, quality assurance, all that stuff. So I'm psyched because I get to spend more time on the west side. So questions?
Council, any questions? Councilmember Finn?
Get my buttons down here. So I just had a couple of, or actually just one question. I noticed in the agreement there are some metrics and some goals basically in there. I don't see anything specific as to what those are. Are those being decided and determined later or as part of the agreement? Will that be part of the agreement, specifics on the metrics?
Yeah, in the agreement, we have identified some of the standard metrics that are normal and customary in terms of what the SBDC usually reports on. But we've also given ourselves the flexibility that as the SBDC staff go out and interface with our businesses, if there's other metrics that we need to be capturing as part of the business needs throughout the city, we can add that as well. And that's one of the nice attributes of the SBDC network is the full report out capabilities, because ultimately they're responsible to higher jurisdictions in terms of the successes that they're providing. So in the agreement, we identify some of the standard metrics, but we also can add additional ones as needed.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Vice Mayor?
Thank you, Mayor. So you mentioned that these were free services, so there'll be no charge to the businesses that take advantage of these services. Is that correct?
For our one-on-one counseling, there is no charge.
And for the education component, different classes and workshops and things like that, will there be charges for those?
I think we'll have to work that out with
Okay.
the city. I mean, there are some no-charge kind of startup type things like Biz 101, which is how to start a business. But when we get into our Profit Mastery, that's a 16-hour program. So, yeah, I mean, we'll just work that out with the city. We found that if the attendees have some skin in the game, they learn better and retain, so.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else? Well, I would just like to say that I've been wanting to have something for our small businesses, an asset for quite a long time. We used to do something internally in sort of an abbreviated fashion, but I think this is going to really expand upon not only what we need to offer to our small businesses, but what our small businesses need to be successful. And you know, that's a win-win for everybody. So welcome to the city of Peoria. We're glad you're on the west side, and thank you for your presentation. And with that, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All right. Council, please vote. And it passes unanimously. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, next item on the agenda is called to the public for non-agenda items. And I do have one speaker request form. Mr. James Deibler, please come to the podium and state your address for the record.
Hello. Hi, I'm James Deibler. I live on 3730 West Tunkey Lane, Phoenix, Arizona at 5019. I live in Councilman Donald Vanzeria District. I am going to school at Arizona State University. I would like to see the city of Glendale and Peoria operates Valley Metro bus routes without relying on the city of Phoenix. I know Regional Public Transportation Authority operates bus routes in the East Valley without a contract with the City of Phoenix in order to provide service to citizens. The City of Glendale will provide federal and local funds to buy new buses from other manufacturers such as New Flyer or Gillen's. Valley Metro intern CEO Scott Smith do an excellent job during difficult times. I hope Valley Metro will find a new CEO without wasting taxpayers' money on expensive dinners and trips. I would like the voters in Peoria to pass Population 400 to fund amenities, including new parks, a firehouse at Lake Pleasant, and fixing up the roads and streets. If Population 400 doesn't pass, it will likely mean cuts into the City of Peoria Parks and Recreation Department budget. This will also mean holding off streets and sidewalks repairs. The population of Peoria has grown by 50% since 2000. The city did an excellent job on managing the growth in our city, but Population 400 will keep fire and police response time low and bring in new amenities into our city. Last year, the City of Peoria created new ambulance service without relying on private companies to do the job. If Population 400 fails, the City of Peoria will face deep cuts that will result in such things as shorter library hours, public transit, and delayed projects that will extend into the next decade. The city should consider the merger with the City of Glendale in order to keep the city afloat without raising taxes on citizens. I encourage voters to pass Population 400 to make sure that City of Peoria will keep up with the growth and improve quality of life for Peoria citizens. Finally, I got awarded a Jacob Personal Challenge Scholarship at Arizona State University. I say thank you to ASU to provide me a scholarship to continue my education. Thanks for your time and consideration.
Thank you for your comment, sir. All right. We will now move on to reports from the city manager.
Thank you, Mayor Carlett. Just one report this evening, and Jen Stein, our communications director, will make that report. While she's coming down just a little bit on that, we're fortunate to have received some awards in our communications area, and looks like Daniel is bringing the awards down to show the council. You know, the TV people do some very pretty awards, it looks.
Wow.
Mayor and Council. We are really excited to inform you that Channel 11, actually speaking, see, I'm new to this. The Channel 11 received the highest honors by earning 2 Telly Awards. recently this summer, and I specifically want to recognize Eric Rodriguez, who is actually operating our cameras right now to make sure that everyone is successfully seeing this council meeting. But he is responsible for producing 2 videos, which received, again, one of the highest honors in the broadcast industry. It's comparable to the Emmys. In fact, these awards are made in a factory where it's the same factory as the Emmys and Oscars. So that's why they're so fancy. Ooh. The one award was actually provided or received. It was the Bronze Award for the Rec Show, Flying Over Time. This short film highlighted an artist story whose work was highlighted in the City Hall Art Gallery. And then we had also received a Silver Award, which ironically is the highest, not gold, but silver in this case, for the Fired Up car show that Channel 11 created in conjunction with the Peoria Firefighters Charities. Okay. And these wins bring the first tellies to the city since 2007. This is also the second Silver Award for the city of Peoria. So I just want to congratulate the Channel 11 team and share this with you. Thank you.
Wow, great news. Congratulations. Please pass that along to your whole team. Thank you.
Thank you, Jen. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And Mayor, that's the only report I have this evening.
Okay, thank you. We will now move on to reports from the City Council, and we will start with Youth Council Liaison Edwards.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to start by acknowledging the Theater Works, even though it looks like they've already cleared the building, especially the youth musical of The Secret Garden. It's just great to see the Theater Works, and especially the youth in Theater Works, being appreciated and winning awards for their raw talent in Peoria. And I also attended the recognition of the Peoria PD at PUSD on October 13th, and I want to say congratulations to them again. You all do a great job, and just keep serving Peoria great. That's all.
Thank you. Councilmember Patena?
Thank you, Mayor. I'd also like to say congratulations to TheaterWorks. There's just something very special about having a community theater, and I think Peoria is very lucky to have one. On Saturday morning, I attended the Sheriff's Posse event. There was an open house at Westbrook Village. It's one of the few posses that are actually located in an incorporated area. Most are in unincorporated areas, and so it's a little bit unusual. And they had sort of a show and tell. They brought out their SWAT team stuff, and the bomb squad was there, and they had a helicopter, and their airboat was there. So, and the city of Peoria works very well. The police officers work very well with the posse, and they also had a table at that event. And then afterwards, Joe Arpaio showed up and gave a talk. It's interesting. He's really not. He's very engaging with people when he gives a talk. It's not the same guy you see on television. So it's quite interesting to see him work. He's very polished. After that, I went to the Sunset Heights Fall Festival at their elementary school. They had all types of activities for kids. They had a climbing wall and bouncy houses, kids' games, a pumpkin patch, and a dunk tank. And so it was a fundraiser for the school, and it was a nice event. There was a lot of families there and a lot of people, so it was nice to see that. And then in the evening, I went over to the GAIN event that was at Pioneer Park. They had loads of firemen there and police officers there. There was tons of giveaways for the children. A lot of families showed up with little children. It was nice to see. The interesting thing about Peoria is our events are either free or very affordable for our citizens, and I think that's just one of the great things that the city of Peoria offers our citizens. Congratulations to Jen Stein and the Channel 11 team on receiving your awards. Very well done. That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilmember Edwards?
Thank you, Mayor. Last weekend, I attended the Oktoberfest over here at the Pioneer Park, and what a phenomenal experience that was. So many people turning out, dancing, food, drink. It just went on forever. And so congratulations to everybody that helped put that event on through the city. It was a great turnout. I also attended the PUSD board meeting last week, and what Youth Liaison failed to mention was that our police officers, our resource officers, were honored for their dedication to working with the schools and the school district. And I just want to thank, I know that the chief is not here, but if you can convey to the chief that the relationship between the school districts and the resource officers is second to none, and it's very well perceived within the school district. And so just thank all the officers that are at the schools for the hard work and dedication that they do day in and day out to help protect and be a mentor towards the youth of Peoria. I also attended the GAIN event. What a great turnout. There were so many people. Everywhere you turn around, there were residents and kids thanking the officers, police officers, firemen, for everything that they do. And so, again, I just want to convey to the fire and the police department, you guys make a difference every single day in the city, and it does not go unnoticed. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Vice Mayor Binsbacher?
Thank you, Mayor. I want to congratulate Communications. Jen Stein and you and your team have definitely taken communications in Peoria to another level. You are clearly dedicated to delivering our message in the most effective way, and you make me very proud, all of us proud. Thank you for that. So congratulations, Eric, wherever you are, congratulations. Also, I attended Explore the Library on October 8th, and I was so excited about that event. It was such a great event. I walked in and it kind of smelled like I was on a ranch, and there was actually a horse in the library with the singing cowboy on it, and there were activities and the exhibits, and it was a fantastic event for the community. And really what stood out to me was the energy and the enthusiasm from the staff. The pride that they take in the library and the work that they're doing there just really topped it off. I was just so impressed and really glad to see them at work. It was great, great turnout. And of course, friends of the library were there, just again, topping it off. So they did a great job. And then Peoria Firefighters Charities had their annual golf tournament. Great turnout from the council and the community staff. It was a great event, and I believe they raised more than $7,000 to give to Reba's Vision, which is a very meaningful effort to provide emotional support and gifts to cancer patients. So it was very worthwhile. Also attended the Trilogy Women's Club luncheon on October 10th. A great group of women there. The topic was human trafficking and raising awareness about human trafficking. The mayor spoke. Chief Minter did a fantastic presentation. And of course, Cindy McCain was there talking about just her experience and her effort to raise awareness and take that cause on. And it's just amazing. So I want to congratulate the Trilogy Women's Club, because that was a very meaningful event. And then on October 15th, the Discovery Center grand opening at Lake Pleasant. Again, just a joy to go there and see that amazing facility that opened. It will educate and inspire so many people. It talks about the desert, the lake, the history, the habitat, and all with a spectacular view. So proud. Everyone needs to get out there and see it. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Finn.
Thank you very much. As other council members, I want to congratulate Jen, you and your team on those awards. Very, very nice little statues there. Those are kind of cool. And congratulations to TheaterWorks as well. As I mentioned, they kind of cleared out here, but congratulations to them. I had an opportunity to attend the GPEC annual event a couple of weeks ago with Vice Mayor Binsbacher. There were no horses or singing cowboys at this event, and unless things got really weird after we left. But was an interesting event, a little bit different venue than they normally have, but it was a good event. I also had an opportunity to do a police ride-along on Friday evening, which I'm so sorry for the officer who lost the game of three-card Monte and got stuck with me for the evening. But I do want to say that I was amazed at what they do out there for our citizens. And I want to be a little bit specific on that too. I was really amazed at how they can go from a really intense situation where, you know, I'm sure the heart rate's kind of up and you don't know what's going on, to leave that thing and go directly to dealing with a citizen or someone that needs assistance, and to see the compassion, to go from a really intense situation down to a very compassionate persona with a citizen. It was just amazing to me. I had a ton of fun, obviously, but I was just amazed at how they do their job and how well they do their job and how they deal with the citizens out there. So I want to thank Chief Minter for allowing me to go out and do that and see the Peoria's finest in action, and I was incredibly impressed. I would do it again in a second, and really learned a lot out there. So really enjoyed it, really appreciate it, and someone's probably cueing the music on me, and I'll stop talking. So thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Hunt?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Well, it's been an exciting 2 weeks since we were last here listening and talking to you. So many compliments to give out. Where to start? Again, congratulations to TheaterWorks. It was just a few years ago that we used to say that TheaterWorks was the best kept secret in the West Valley, because we all knew they were doing great things, but the word wasn't out there. Well, I don't think they're a secret anymore. I think the Zoni Awards show that the word is getting out. They're doing amazing things. And it's not just the quality of the productions. Folks, if you have kids that just don't quite have enough to do, get them into theater. It will change their lives. It won't make them actors or actresses on Broadway, but it will improve their public speaking. Mostly it will improve their self-confidence, their camaraderie with other kids, their discipline. It's just an amazing area to get your kids involved in. And TheaterWorks, among other youth theaters, have programs from little tiny kids all the way up through adults. So if you don't have enough to do in your life, you might get involved as well. And again, Jen, what else can we say? We tell you almost daily how wonderful you and Eric and the whole team are, and it never, it always bears repeating, because what a difference you've made. Your leadership and your dedication and your knowledge, your skill, your relationships that you bring with you. I mean, you're really the whole enchilada there, girlfriend. Okay, and I did think those looked like little Oscars. I said that to him, and I said, I think those are mini Oscars, so I'm glad to hear that they're made at the same place at least. And just our undying thanks and admiration to our first responders. In addition to being amazing, as Mike said, with their compassion that they show, that when they find a child in distress, that must be the worst day of their life. And then to go right on, they don't get to go home and take an aspirin or something, they go right on to the next call. And that requires a certain type of person and a certain type of dedication, not to a job, but to humanity and to really caring for the people around them. And in addition to that, they have charities that they don't just support another charity, they have their own charities whereby they support breast cancer and all kinds of breast cancer knowledge and information and help, and all other kinds of things, domestic violence awareness. And then the GAIN program the other night was a huge tribute to them and to all the things that they do. So they don't just put in their time and go home. They're very active in the community, sometimes in plain clothes, so you may not even know who they are. We didn't have a horse or cowboy, and I'm feeling a little cheated right now, I have to tell you, but Main Library, we had jungle. We didn't have monkeys or zebras or anything either, the real ones, We did have a thing in the back that had all kinds of desert critters, and you could actually, snakes, you could hold those, and I actually didn't care to do that, but I could have, and the children loved that. They weren't afraid of them at all. And we have another event coming up, and the date has escaped me, but it's coming up in October over here at Maine, and it'll be a book sale and some more children's programming. Okay, and I have a shred event coming up. You can shred 2 of the boxes, the file box sizes of documents for free, and then you pay just a little bit if you have others that you need to shred. Over here across the street at State Trailer, you can tell where it is from the big clock tower, and final clearance is right there also, and they're sharing their parking lot with us to allow us to do that. And firefighters are holding their kickoff event for their toy drive, just another one of the things that they do every year for needy children. So bring, along with your boxes of stuff you need shredded, bring an unwrapped toy or 2, or go in final clearance. They have brand new toys for sale that you won't even believe how many they have. I too enjoyed the golf tournament. That was a lot of fun. I think that covers my list. Seems like there was more because I'm really tired, so I must have done a lot in the last 2 weeks. But I'm going to stop there. Thank you, Mayor.
Right, thank you. Councilmember Leone.
Yes, on October the 8th, I went to the Oktoberfest, which I go every year, and it was just great. They always have a great time, but I'm not going to elaborate because I think we already had talked about it, but they did have a lot of dancing and a lot of food, and all the kids had a lot of fun, and I'm sure when they got home, not only the parents, but the kids probably went right to sleep. On October the 14th, at a river cutting at Goodwill, on 91st and Northern, and it was just great. They're going to have about 35 employees there. So it's just opened up about a week ago. So if you want to go down and browse around, go down there. It's just great. It's a good opportunity for people to go, to go down there and bring their stuff that they don't need. I know I brought 3 bags down there when I went down there. I also went on October 15th to Gaines, which is always great. The police was there, the fire was there, a lot of hot dogs given away, kids having a lot of fun on the bounces. And also, the firefighters had the hose out, teaching the kids how to hold that hose. I know I tried it and I couldn't do it, so I gave up on it. Anyway, God bless each and every one of you, and God bless America. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I think our staff understands how much the council cares and respects and appreciates them. But I would just like to say that I really appreciate how involved our city council is, not only with the events that we have, but with the citizens that we are here to serve. So thank you to our staff, thank you to our citizens, and thank you to our city council. With that, we are adjourned.